Hey, and welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our journey again to the 250,000 subscriber. So if you like what you see, you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button and share with a friend because we have 24 hours before the most consequential election in our lifetimes. Now, I want to draw your attention to yesterday when Trump had one of his final campaign stops in Macon, Georgia. And his mental decline is apparent. It is inarguable that this is not the Donald Trump of 2015, 2016. And it's definitively not even the Donald Trump of 2020. But before I show you that rally, last week, he did this to a microphone on stage at a rally. You cannot imagine what I'm about to show you. He did this to a mic stand and to a microphone. If this was anybody else, they'd be in a straitjacket. Play that clip.
So, I had to go.
Seriously. At first when I saw it, I'm saying to myself, get the fuck out of here. Somebody pulled that shit through AI. But no, that's real. You have a guy who's running for the presidency of the United States doing a Lauren Hobart on a mic stand, all right, and then performing fellatio moves on the microphone itself. And why? I don't know. Some people are saying he was angry that the mic wasn't working, that I have no idea what is going on in between those two ears of Donald's. In my whole life, I never thought I would see something this absolutely obscene and stupid. And he does this at a rally. Now, I know, you're probably saying the same thing that I am. Seriously? But back to Georgia. Here are some clips of him messing up some words. And when I say that there's real mental decline going on here, I'm not joking. Here he's just messing up some simple words. Play the clip.
Agriculture commissioner, and unleashed an army of gangs and criminal migrants.
I mean, seriously? Agriculture and let me be very clear. The guy is exhausted. Not to mention, he is definitively experiencing some sort of cognitive problem. You know, it was interesting that when Joe Biden was running, how everybody attacked Joe Biden, he said one word wrong, two words wrong, and all of a sudden, his cognitive ability is on the decline. How can we be voting for him and so on? Well, Donald Trump is now the old man at the table, right? 30 years or so, or almost 30 years older, give or take. Nah, I shouldn't say that. He's about 20 some odd years older than Kamala Harris. Right? I shouldn't make him older than what he is. He's 79, soon to be 80. She's 59, to be 60. So 20 years. It's a big difference, especially with Donald having everything on his mind that he does. He knows definitively that this election means more to him than just being president of the United States of America again. This means to him incarceration, his money, all of his power, his fame, his notoriety, you name it. And that's why he cannot allow Kamala Harris to at least believe that she's winning right now. Because then he goes on, and again, to show the cognitive decline, he starts talking about a whistleblower. Made no sense at all. And then he goes into talking and making even less sense about a bunch of meaningless numbers that I still, after watching the clip over and over again, can't figure out what the hell he's even babbling about. Play the clip.
All of you people wouldn't have a chance to see before you pull the lever on Tuesday, but a whistleblower released the information on the 800,000 jobs plus. The whistleblower said, there were not 800,000 and 18,000. You add them up, and then you add 100, and think of it, 112,000 jobs.
I mean, do you catch the expressions of the people in the background 818, 100, 118, and so on. And again, I played that clip over and over and over again, and I can't understand what he's trying to say. Is he trying to say that the job report numbers are wrong? Even assuming if that's true, which it is not, it's an independent body, the same independent body that reported to Donald Trump on a monthly basis, the jobs reports number. And that has nothing to do with this whole campaign. Anyway, first he's talking about voting and voters and ballots, and then he goes into jobs. Again, he's all over the place. Imagine this guy sitting behind the Lincoln desk in the Oval Office. Because next, Trump goes on and he says, again, that he's way ahead. But he's not supposed to say that because he somehow has top secret information that hasn't even been counted yet, but he somehow manages to know. Play the clip.
Just the concept of what's going to happen on Tuesday, we're way ahead. I'm not supposed to say that. My people say, please don't say that, sir. They'd like me to say that, yeah, we're a little bit behind, but if you get out, look.
Yeah. Again, maybe he should start to take some advice even from that ragtag group of fools that he has surrounding him. You probably shouldn't say it because, number one, you're not. And more importantly, number two, you do want to get your base out to vote. I mean, because then he goes on and he says that he's leading again by a lot. Play the clip.
We're leading by a lot. We're leading by numbers that nobody's ever seen before. Some people said, I really don't believe these polls. This is going to be a landslide because, we did a great job for 4 years, right to...
Yeah. No, you didn't. In fact, not only did you not do a good job, you completely botched a pandemic, a 100-year historical pandemic. So what did you do that was so great? Other than you saying that it's great, the answer is nothing. And do you see the lack of enthusiasm by the people in the back there? Why they go, I don't know. I guess it's a social thing for them. Because then he says that, goes right back to Joe Biden. Right? And he does know, and we all have to acknowledge that the debate that he had with Joe Biden, despite the fact that he lied about every single thing, he definitely won because Joe Biden, unfortunately, was just completely 100% off his game. And Trump just lied about everything, but at least he was active enough in order to lie. So he goes right back to Joe Biden. If that's going to help him to secure victory tomorrow on the 5th. And he says that Biden can't figure out how to go to bed. Play this clip.
You think Biden thought about that? He can't figure out how the hell he goes up to bed. And be
Again, what does Joe Biden have to do? Schmuck, you are running against Kamala Harris. Even if Joe Biden can figure out how to go to bed, has nothing to do with this election. In fact, the only negative that I can deduce from something like this is that at a certain age, you need some help. And again, who's the old guy at the table? It's you, Donald. D-O-N-O-L-D, Donald. It's you. But then again, it's not just necessarily your age. There are times people just say things that make absolutely no sense and they're just wrong, like Herschel Walker, right? Herschel Walker, the former NFL player, right, who was running for the Senate in Georgia in 2022, got his ass handed to him. But he's speaking at a rally and accidentally tells the people there in the crowd that they should vote for Don Jr. No, seriously. He's actually telling them in his mumble to vote for Donald Trump Jr. Play the clip.
And it is time for it to stop. And it stopped on Tuesday when we get to the polls and we vote for my friend and your friend, Donald Trump Jr. Donald Trump, Donald J. Trump.
Seriously, Herschel? Seriously? All right. So whether or not Trump heard that slip up, he later says that Herschel should run, get a load of this. I mean, if this is not in and of itself a reason why not to vote for Donald, he says that Herschel should run the Missile Defense Shield program for the United States. Play this clip.
We will build a missile defense shield, all made in the USA, wrapped around our country to defend ourselves and our country. It's all going to be made in the United States, and a lot of it in your great state. We'll put Herschel Walker in charge of that little sucker, okay? And we're going to do that. It's so important. You know, it's our technology. I know a lot of people say it's our technology. And
again, it's one babbling buffoon talking about another babbling buffoon. There's no other way to describe it other than, seriously? I mean, if this was on Saturday Night Live, it'd be the funniest fucking skit you've ever seen in your life. But it's not. It's not. And he's talking about a missile defense system and so on. Okay, great. The United States militarily, we already know we have the greatest military, we have the greatest machinery in the world, hands down. But what is he talking? He's making it seem as if though tomorrow we're going to war. Now, look, lastly, I want to show you a clip of the crowd because you hear me constantly talk about what's a good gauge. And the gauge is really the crowd, the enthusiasm, the size, the energy, because these are the people that will get to the ballot. Play the clip.
I've been saying, call this number, that number, you know, early voting, late voting. We should have one-day voting with paper ballots, voter ID, and proof of citizenship. Yes, I'm a United.
Again, you see there's no enthusiasm, there's no energy, there's no crowd. You know, when I was watching this, I was just saying to myself, what's next going to come out of this loony's mouth? And we don't know. We truly don't know. It's almost like going back to like the old Howard Stern thing. Why do people listen to him? Because they're just waiting to hear the next crazy thing that he says. And maybe that's why some people are coming out. But again, you start to compare that to some of the other clips that you've seen on this show and others of the size of Kamala Harris's crowd size and the enthusiasm, the energy and so on. You know, when he's talking about how, you know, we have to make sure that this election, you know, goes smoothly and that we're going to win by a landslide and so on, he knows he's losing by a landslide. Because remember, with Trump, it's always about projection. And that's why I say to you, as I do on all of these, tomorrow I'm going to have to stop. All right, make sure that you go to vote.org. And I don't know if your state allows you with late entry on the system. If they do, that's great. If not, make sure that you are registered to vote and make sure tomorrow you do find the time to get to the ballot box and make sure that you vote Harris Walz 2024. Hey everyone, first of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.